everybody, this is Mel for the Pizza Boy. Welcome back to my franchise series. This is Road to Super Bowl 54. We're against another one of our divisional rivals, the Detroit Lions. Let's get straight into it.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Okay. Oh, we're getting the ball first too, so that's gonna be good. Actually, good and bad. Truthfully, I like getting the ball first, going first, but I also like getting the ball second, so I can get it back after halftime. There's mostly mixed feelings about it.
This is taken at his 4.
Oh,
and
crap.
He'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So
Zimmer
here's
was
the
not
Viking
too happy about
offense
that one.
making their way out. They'll be led out by a 5th-round pick in the 2019 draft out of North Dakota State. It's Easton Stick.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
It never needs to be.
Stick looking to throw on 1st and 10.
Oh, I could not get out of
Pressure,
it.
he's brought down. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas
At least got back to the
there to get him.
But we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Oh, Easton.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Tight end Herb Smith, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. The starters now on offense. And Stephon Diggs, our first chance to see him today.
Brandon, remember we had this conversation about how highly recruited he was in high school. Didn't quite live up to it in college due to some injuries. But, boy, as he hit the NFL like a bomb. Stephon Diggs, a crafty, mature route runner who can go the distance.
And he's got Kyle Rudolph.
Yes, I need to get Rudolph. I need to get the big man going.
About 5 yards shy of midfield. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
Alright, we gotta get this score. We gotta get this right on this game.
Here's Stick on 1st and 10. Almost able to intercept him. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive.
I was kind of scared at that point. Trevor and Diggs are right there, and I was shooting him because I didn't know what was going on.
No doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
And since this is such a good unit of covering passes downfield, I think that last play is typical of what we might see. A lot of short passes, see if they can generate some run after the catch, but nothing doing on that one.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. 23 yards the pick up there.
Let's go, 30 base.
And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the match.
Oh,
He's
God.
going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out.
27 yards for Dalvin.
27
Good job,
yards
Dalvin.
there, a first down.
I can say this from experience, especially from a defensive back's perspective. There's not many things more terrifying than a toss sweep
This
or
is
a
the
pitch
best
play and all that
place
beef out
to
in front of the
be.
runner.
Yeah,
Also the
I heard
word.
coach say 3 words on those. And Rudolph has got
Yes,
it.
got Rudolph
the
the
big
touchdown.
tight end for a Viking touchdown.
I wanted to get that drive go done
His
with
fifth
his
touchdown
season
now on the
touchdown.
year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive.
It looks like he
One of the
ran
keys to
into
their
it.
long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator?
Oh,
Remember
yeah.
what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
You
So
guys
that
love
an
getting
8-play
attack
drive,
mode.
it spans 75 yards. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
Kind of thought he was
And
going to
no
run
run
out.
back
It kind
here.
of looked
This
like
will be a touchback,
I'm in
and
goal.
it
It
comes
kind
out
of
to
run
the
out, but
25-yard line. So
he
here the
faked
Lions
me
now
out.
as they get set for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
I loved our discussion this week. You know, we had our weekly phone call to talk about our game coming up. And we had to reflect on the fact that he won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award last week, yet his team lost. You don't see that very often.
No, I know a lot of people dislike that, but when you look at the numbers across the conference from last week, he was clearly the best. So
Kendrick,
I say
was
the
that
award
you?
goes to him, and it did.
Yeah, I agree
Oh,
with
that
you
was
totally.
good.
He was so good, they just couldn't ignore him.
yeah, it was Kendrick.
The numbers for Johnson in
Eric
last week's
Kendrick,
game.
good job.
13 carries, 55 yards, and a
I
touchdown.
see you,
Part, I
Harrison.
thought it was a lot of fun for us to be able to sit in on their film session with the
Kendrick
offensive line. We saw how they blocked it
again.
up last week to pretty
He
good
wants to
success.
get
And we
those
see what their
big
game
hits
plan
in.
is for this week. They expect that defensive front to be someone they can move.
Oh, here's going to be a passing play. I know it's for fast.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
No.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to
Ooh,
watch in
Billy's
this
only
one. Got to be
1-5.
effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Fielded at the 20. 51 yards on the punt there. And the
I
Vikings will
call
take
for
over
it,
here
that-
first and 10.
There's no place I
And
can
now
go
out
there.
comes Minnesota. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and
No,
puts
you're
them
not
down in
going
the
to
minds
hit
of their
one and
opponents.
start
And he'll
receivers on
take
my
this to the
team.
other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's good for 28 yards. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 48-yard line. Buying time to his left. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs.
Oh, and
Touchdown,
Diggs is in for the touchdown.
Vikings.
2-play drive.
Stephon
That's what we needed.
Diggs. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
There
And
we
a nice
go.
job by him to catch
Ooh,
the
Garrett
slant
Bradbury
and
was
then
in on it.
navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Now Bailey to tack on the extra point.
I can't remember
And it's
when
good
was
to
the
make
last
it
time
14-0.
Stephon Diggs got a touchdown either. Yeah, that was third and 1.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Was Amendola
That'll
going
be
to do?
taken in the end zone. And no run
He
back
did not
here.
fake
This
me
will be
out
a
at all this
touchback,
time.
and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know
if it's
that.
down
They have the script to
this
start the ball
quickly,
game.
it does
And
start
typically
becoming
those scripts
important.
go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down to...
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing
I am
things, seeing
doing
backs
good
find
trying
holes,
to
get through
delve into
them. They've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far.
And he will score. Touchdown,
Dancing that end zone, Dalvin.
Vikings.
That's what you gotta do.
Dalvin Cook with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Bailey got the extra point, and it's now 21-0.
I don't think the Lions even have any X factors on
Bailey
their
now
team.
to kick it away after the touchdown.
I
This
don't even
fielded a few
know.
yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Lions
Yeah,
now.
the Lions going.
And some dangerous
No
territory. Already
X-factors
down
on
3
defense,
scores. A 3
none
and
on
out here, or
offense.
an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, the Lions have yet
Throwing is Stafford. That is
to get a first down.
incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's 3rd down. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings.
Oh, no,
They were
he's
quite
doing that
formidable
now.
in the win over the Eagles a week ago.
This defense has a lot to be proud of coming off of the game they played last week. When you only give up 14 points in a game, not only do you give your team a chance to win, you fully expect to win because you figure your offense is going to score more than that.
So the failure to
They
connect
need
on
a
2nd
first
down,
down.
that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. To throw is Stafford. This is Johnson. He's got it.
Nice.
And they're able to
They need a
get this
first down.
one
They got a
across
first
the
down.
35. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into
I kind of really thought
territory.
Galladay would have been an X
15 more
factor.
there, and they're on a roll.
I think
It's
he
another
is one
first
of
down.
the Lions' head receivers.
This offense
I
finding
know
its
if
legs now. Here's another 1st
Megatron
and
was
10.
still in the league. He would have been
Faking to
a
give to
great X
Johnson. Now
factor
it's
for the
Stafford.
Lions.
Rush coming, and
But
he's
he's
taken
not.
down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. Now following the sack, they'll look to make
Calvin
amends
Johnson,
on
he
a
was
2nd down
a
and
great
17.
receiver. I get the Lions proud to actually have him on the
Stafford.
team.
And that's complete to Jesse James. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 36. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 36. Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And he still has yet to get
No
on track
bar.
in this first
It
half
better
as
be
they're
a
going to
cramp.
stop him behind the line.
Oh, the lights are going out. No! Oh, yeah, it better not be that bad of an injury. I need Barr.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Stafford. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Stafford, what are you doing?
Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
He gets it left side to Johnson.
All right, they're going to go for a field goal.
Get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain.
Ooh.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Oh, God, that was bad.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love? Four verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. Good field position to start the drive after the missed field goal. Here's first down from the 42. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes this forward for about 6. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On second down, Cook. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Chew the clock out.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. Back deep, Danny Amendola. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And this, you hate to say that a drive in the first half must end in points, but you're down 21-0. They're going to have to get something going fairly quickly.
I would agree totally with that because if you're going to mount the comeback, it's going to have to come in bits and pieces. It doesn't just all come at one time, right? We haven't seen anything more than a 6-point touchdown ever in this game, right? So that's how it has to be done. Get points on the board now. Start your comeback. But you're exactly right. Let's get it going right here in this spot.
They get 6 here after the incompletion.
If they want to get a comeback, they got to go 4 and out. At this moment,
for the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And he gets it to the 34.
I think it's going to be the last play before 2 minutes. Yep.
The drive stays alive. A 3rd down gain of 8. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
All right, now it's most
coming
going
up
to be
at
hurry up
halftime. We'll join
offenses.
Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Stafford. And the catch made by Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Yeah,
the catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. Back to throw, Stafford. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. After the sack on first down, Stafford. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now it's Stafford. And Amendola with a catch.
Yep, after
the Lions will use the
that's
first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit, they huddle up, talk it over, then they get a chance to continue their drive.
He'll get this one to Galladay. The Lions now going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Everson Griffin in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Field goal at this point.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. A lot to get to here as some of the division races starting to take shape as we look around the NFL here in week number 7. We'll start with a rematch from more than a half a century ago. What's now known as Super Bowl II. Oakland traveling to Lambeau to take on Green Bay. And it's the Packers who are out in front in the second quarter. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. From there, let's head over to New Era Field to see what's happening with the Bills. And right now, they have the lead over the visiting Dolphins. The Bills trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Lastly, let's head to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. See what's happening with the Bengals. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting Jaguars. The Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, has a touchdown pass. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and no run back here.
I
This will be a
still don't get how
touchback,
it
and it comes
doesn't
out to the
feel good.
25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
Isn't it
And that first
Prater
half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something
I think he
together
is.
here,
I
don't
think
they?
Yeah, they're
Prater
down
is
big
the
right
field goal
now,
kicker.
so as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
I don't know
And
why
gonna
they're
get it
going to
behind
run.
the
If
line
they're
yet again,
down
as
21-0,
this
they should be passing
afternoon
it.
continues. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Out of the gun, Stafford. Open man is Galladay, complete. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the first down at the 29. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So here are the Vikings to take over. Their win
Thielen wants
streak
his
at
touchdown
6
pass.
coming
There's no
in
laughing
and
at that.
counting as they've got the lead right now, beginning this drive 1st and 10. Stick looks to throw, flushed out right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. He'll
I might
get
let
8
him touch
on the
my
scramble
quarterback.
there. It'll be 2nd and a couple. To throw again on 2nd down. Stick, flush to his right. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
How many times have we sat with coordinators, and especially the defensive guys, they've talked about big plays, sacks. They often come in bunches.
I gotta get this
well, it may
first.
not be a bunch here, but that is the 3rd sack of the game for them.
And around sack 3 or 4, I would think it starts to get in the quarterback's head a little bit.
Not just the quarterback, the offensive play caller, the offensive line, knocks people off balance and changes what they normally do.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4.
Yeah, I'm
And I
going
know
for
that
this one.
yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Ooh.
And a nice job here to down this
On
one
the
right
5.
on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Well, a couple of good division battles coming up in primetime this weekend, starting tonight with Sunday Night Football, Eagles and Cowboys from AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Then tomorrow on Monday night, it's the defending champs, the Patriots, on the road at MetLife Stadium to take on the Jets. 2 not to miss to close out Week 6. To throw on 2nd and 6. Stafford
now
completing it
Stafford
here to Marvin
somewhat moving the ball
Jones.
again.
That one a first down pickup of 8. Stafford now 11 of 16 through the air. It's 1st and 10. Play action. Stafford. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's James. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
I do like Stafford. He is, in my book, a good quarterback.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson.
He's been on the
only muster a yard here to the
for like
38.
a long time.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got just in there.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted.
Holden Hill?
Picked off right around the 43. And a great return here gets us one all the way down to the 26-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Now, meanwhile, a final play here is incomplete, and that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Ceiling, come on.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurt. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
And a big here as he's taken down. Trey Flowers and the Lion defense able to come up there with a goal line
That's
stand.
mostly get me to the line.
So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock it down. 11 yards there, 1st down. Stafford now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get
Weatherly, good
down. Stephen Weatherly. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And he's going to go down. Everson Griffin, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Everson is just a freaking wrecking ball at this point.
After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation.
I'm somewhat wondering how the Vikings D is going to do this year.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown.
I don't know what Stafford was doing there.
This is the number 1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that makes the score 28-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
The pass complete, this one to Danny Amendola. He takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
I'm passing with an idea at this point.
On first down at Stafford. Got his man complete over the middle. That's James. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just erase that goose egg. Nobody wants to be shut out. 11 more on that one and another first down. On first and 10, Stafford. James has got it. Complete.
It put me on the wrong guy. I wanted the Kendrick hit stick.
You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Yeah, now it's going to be...
Looking to throw again on second down. Stafford, and this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there on second down. The Lions on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4.
Rose is on the other side.
Stafford looks to throw again.
It kind of gets hard at that point when both McKenzie and
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
So when you just see a 2,
it's
kind of hard to catch the other number.
And the back really
and the 9 is somewhat close to a 0-2.
The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their background. They were all county, all state, and other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
That's what they
he was looking
should
for
have
Adam
right now.
Thielen there. And that'll bring up second down. To throw again on second down. Stick. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
On third down, it's Stick. And that will be incomplete.
That was not a good one.
Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Yeah, their defense is kind of hard to pass against.
He completes it to Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. They're going draw play. Stafford to Johnson, and he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
At this stage of the game, the
I'm surprised there's no timeout to hurry up at the moment.
Just come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that, because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
I said it,
and there's a timeout. As they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Stafford now to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. The Lions now going to use the second of their
Yeah, next
timeouts
game is
as they'll
against
stop
the
the clock with
Washington
24
Redskins.
seconds to go
I
in the game.
think it's in Washington, but I can't remember.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts.
They're going to have to get a first
as it'll
down.
come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. The Lions on third down.
To actually get a
Converted
good
third
field
of their
goal, they got to get a
opportunities,
first
3
down
for
at
9.
this moment.
This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Stafford. It's caught. Jones. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Minnesota, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
I'm going to leave it here. If you guys liked it, smash that like button. I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later, guys.